For this 10-minute material, what we're going to do is we're going to make some rock with a bit of a gold vein running through it. So we're going to go to our already set up plane in Blender. We're going to get the clay strips. We want them set to add, and I'm going to make auto smooth have pressure sensitivity. I do use a pen here. It just makes it a lot easier. And you're going to just kind of start drawing in some lumps here. Don't try to make them straight across. Have some different directions. Try to look at some pictures of rock faces to help you out. So we're just going to do that all over, and then we're going to get the smooth brush, and we're going to smooth it out just a little bit. We don't want to smooth it out too much. And then we're going to take our clay strips again, and we're going to set these to subtract, and we're going to follow the contours that we made in our first pass. So now we're going through those contours, and I'm just subtracting a little bit, kind of scribbling around to emphasize where the edges of this rock is. So I'm going to do that for all the contours, and then I'm also going to do this for just the top surface of some of these rocks, just to give it a little bit more texture. I really do find that having a drawing tablet helps for this. I use a cheap one off Amazon. I think it was $30. It's the XP Pen Star G640. I'd recommend getting one of those for doing this. It just makes it so much easier than trying to do it with a mouse. So now we're going to smooth it over just a little tiny bit with a very, very low strength on the smooth. But we want to smooth out some of the really rough details, and now that's our material. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the material and we're going to hop over to shading. Again, if you followed my previous getting started tutorial, you should have all of this set up with your target plane as well as your material, but I'm just remaking it in this video because I actually recorded this first. So I'm just grabbing the texture coordinate, splitting it, and setting the Z. So we have that set there. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our normal texture. So create that, make sure it's the same resolution. And then next step is to actually set our renderer settings. So we need to go over to the renderer, change it from Eevee to cycles, make sure we're doing this on the GPU because GPU will be so much faster. And then we'll go down to bake, and we're going to set it to normal. We want to make sure that we have selected to active, and then we want to extrude this by 0.1 meters. It just needs to be a small number. This is how it determines how far away we're projecting onto the surface. So make sure now you select the target first, and then your material, and then you want to make sure you still have that texture selected, and then press bake. This is what came out. Fortunately, it doesn't quite look right, and that's because this is OpenGL format with a positive Y. So we want to swap this to a negative Y, and now with this baked, this will work with Unity. Depending on the platform you're using, whether it uses DirectX, OpenGL, you'll need to adjust this setting. So next we're going to save our normal texture. So just save it somewhere you can find it. And then if you have the material already set up, we're just going to click render image. Make sure that your target plane isn't visible, but this is what came out of our render, and we're going to save this as our height map. And then we're going to go to Photoshop. I already have both of these textures in here. So I have our rock face height and our rock face normal. We need to now crop these down. So we want to do half the size they originally were. So we go to 2048 by 2048. The reason for this is that when we were sculpting, there were some artifacts on the edges. So if we don't crop this down to the center of the image where the tiling was, then it won't seam properly. So if we go view, pattern preview, and check it, you'll see it does seam perfectly. There are no hard edges between it here. That's why we have to drop the size down. If you did it without dropping it, you'd notice there are some weird artifacts on the edges of the texture, and it wouldn't look good when you actually put it into Unity. So I'm doing this for both textures and just checking with the pattern preview in Photoshop. So the next thing after this is we're going to actually make our color map or our base map. So I'm going to create a new Photoshop file, and I'm just naming this our rock face, and I'm going to call it the base map. Even though this is a base map, we're actually going to do a couple of other things in here. We're going to make the resolution of this map the same as our other maps. So we want it to be 2048 by 2048. And then once we create this, what we're going to do is we're going to take our height map and we're going to copy the layer and we're going to paste it over into here. This just gives us a really good base to start with. So now to actually add some color to this, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to image, not filter, image, and then we're going to go to adjustments and then gradient map. This allows us to map a gradient onto a black and white image, which luckily our image started as black and white. So I can just pick some different colors here. Depending on the effect that you're looking for, you can pick any colors. You can also add more colors as keys in between, so that way you have a little bit more layering in terms of your colors by depth. So you can choose whatever you want here. I'm probably going to go for some sort of kind of slatey look, which I definitely need something lighter than this. So if I pick that there, then I can apply this gradient. And once this is applied, then we have that color there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check our pattern preview just to be sure this does still tile. Everything's great that way. Next, we're actually going to paint in our gold effect that we want in here. So we have those gold veins running throughout this. So I'm going to pick a color. I actually messed up in the video here, and it will cut in 30-ish seconds there to me doing this, but instead with a white color. And it's better to actually do this in white first, just because the white allows us to do some more effects on it, and it lets us save our metallic map later. This is the only video I have of me actually painting them in. So basically what we're going to do is you want to make sure your brush is an appropriate size. You don't want it too small because it's a pain. And I'm again using pressure sensitivity for the brush here. I just find it makes it a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to follow the contours, kind of the ones that we made earlier. And once we have those contours set, we're going to just keep painting and we're going to expand around here. You can make as much of this have these veins as you want or as little. Again, like I said, I'm going to switch to a white version here, which looks a little bit different because I had to redo it. But if you have the pattern preview enabled, you can paint directly through, so you don't have to worry about making sure your edges seam. That's one of the main reasons that I do pay for Photoshop, despite the fact that I try to use free stuff for everything. This is one of those really useful features that I'm sure in GIMP there's probably a plugin for it, but Photoshop, I just find that it works nicely. So I'm just going to keep going through here and painting these gold veins in. Okay, so this is where I jump to. So I have now these painted in white. I also have our black and white map, another copy of it there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just blurring these lines a little teeny tiny bit so they're not such a hard edge. And now with the white lines and our black and white map, I'm going to export this as our metallic map. So this is going to tell Unity which pixels to treat as metallic or not. So white is going to be, yeah, treat this as very metallic. Black is no metallic. So this lets us map how the lighting will respond to it in terms of being a metallic texture. Now for our gold, what I did here was I applied a satin image effect to the white to make it white and black, and then I gradient mapped it between a light gold and a dark gold. So then we'll just save that as our color map and we'll hop over to Unity. So I'm just using the default Unity material and I'm going to drag in our base map. We're going to also check that our normal map is imported as a normal map. It can't be default or else the lighting engine won't recognize it. So then we want to set our height map as the height map. We're also going to set it as our occlusion map. You can get a little fancy with occlusion maps, but for this instance, we're just going to use the exact same texture for the occlusion map. And then we're going to drag over our normal map. And the last one is our metallic map. So with all of that, that is our completed material. So now if you look at it here, we have the shininess. You can see the gold is a lot shinier than the rocks are. There's a lot more you can add to this effect, but this was a quick, it took me 17 minutes in real time to make it. I had to speed it a little bit up to make it in the 10-minute mark. But that's it. Now you should have a rock material you can use in your Unity project.